Nailing exposure, nailing focus. So let's talk about it. I am using the Sony FX3 and my Atomos Ninja. I'm just gonna set this down and I'm gonna just say this is our scene. One thing that I forgot to tell you is I have an ND filter here in front of my lens. It is important. When nailing exposure, we need to think of a few things. First off, when shooting on the FX3 and the A7S III, I only shoot on 2 ISO levels. FX3, it's either 800 or 12,800. On the A7S III, it's either 640 or 12,800. I don't use any other ISO value, okay? That's number one. Obviously, I'm shooting in 4K 60, and so my shutter speed is 1/125th. So those are kind of set values. I'm at ISO 800, and it doesn't look like I need this ND filter. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick this in my back pocket. Aperture, I like to keep it between 5.6 to 8.0. So I'm gonna put this at 8.0. When nailing exposure, if you have the luxury of having one of these monitors, this is the Atomos Ninja V, then I like to turn on false colors, okay? False colors basically says, hey, wherever it's green, then that is properly exposed. Right now, everything is blue. The way that you can fix that is like, hey, you can drop your aperture and see at f4.0, I'm getting some nice green in there because the thing that I'm exposing for is the interior of this living room. I don't care that my highlights are getting blown out. I like to keep my aperture between 5.6 to 8.0. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and take out my ND filter again. I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna pump my ISO up to 12,800, okay? Now, if I didn't have that ND filter, this is why I always have this ND filter, everything gets blown out, everything is red. I'm gonna go ahead and go to, let's say F8. Now it's yellow, and F8 is usually where I like to be. So it's still yellow, I'd want it to be in the green. That's where the ND filter comes in. So let's put it on. So watch this monitor right here. And hey, look at that, we're getting some green in there. I want some more green. And at F8, it's not giving it to me. So let's say F6.3. So F6.3 at 1/125th, ISO 12,800 with an ND on is looking great. I can also tell that my white balance is off right now. So I'm at 4,200. I am just gonna go to 5,000. It's showing that my walls are nice and green. This is green. Now, what if you didn't have an Atomos Ninja? Then use your zebras. So on the A7S III or the FX3, what I would do is I would go ahead and set your zebra levels. I'm gonna go and do the custom 1 and make sure that your range or your standard plus range is 44 plus or minus 3. When I turn this on, my zebras are saying, hey, part of the ceiling and the chimney and this part of the chair and table is all green. And look at that. It's the exact same. Wherever these zebras are is the green portion of my Ninja. So if I did not have this Atomos Ninja, I could just stay with this. So you're probably asking, well, why do you need the Ninja at all? Well, that's for part 2. So when I have nailed my exposure, I need to nail focus, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my false color and I'm gonna deactivate my zebras and I'm gonna turn on peaking. Now peaking, I can go ahead and see what's in focus, but it's such a small screen. And make sure that you are in manual focus for this. And so according to this, my plants are the thing that's in focus. Usually I just kind of find whatever in the middle of the room and that's my thing that's in focus. And according to this, it is definitely in focus. But what I'm gonna do is I like to use my monitor, and because it's such this nice big monitor, I can tell just with my eyes that is for sure in focus. Like I can see the petals of those flowers and they look nice and sharp. And now I have 2 forms of verification. This is in focus, that's in focus. So now we've nailed exposure and we've nailed focus, okay? So now all that's left to do is to do the move. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just move in. Very nice. I'm gonna do a couple variations. Beautiful. I am gonna go ahead and get a couple tight shots. Now that I've zoomed in, I can just look at my monitor and nail my focus again. Just gonna get this little sliding shot. So that is how you nail exposure and focus on either the A7S III or the FX3. And if you want to learn more about how to shoot beautiful homes just like this, then make sure to check out my course, revideopros.com, and learn how to shoot beautiful, gorgeous homes just like this today.